AF Seltzer is now live in over 1,200 locations across the United States. We're now available in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, and Texas. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and find the nearest location closest to you. Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros Monday morning recap, everybody. Brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Delco, the pride of Philadelphia, has retired. He's gone. He's no longer with us. R.I.P.
Top 5 most beloved athlete in Philadelphia history.
Would you say top 5?
No, come on.
Yeah, easily.
Dr. J.
Dr. J, Steve Carlton, Michael
These aren't all beloved.
Michael J.
I don't think
Mike,
Steve
Mike Schmidt, my grandfather hated Mike
I'm sorry,
Schmidt.
the Phillies' only World Series win up until a couple
but I'm
years
literally
ago.
telling you how people react. Chase Utley, beloved.
Yes.
Allen
It's
Iverson,
Always Sunny.
beloved.
God, what a shit city that they don't respect Steve Carlton, who is one of the greatest
Oh,
pitchers
for sure,
of all
but
time.
He's old. He's too old.
Doesn't
Nobody's
matter how
over.
old he is.
No,
But my
he-
grandfather hated Mike Schmidt.
Who do they like better, Steve Carlton or Tug McGraw?
Well, Tug was a fucking deadbeat dad, so that's Philly. That's at
They
least
loved
some
him.
points.
They loved him there.
Brian Dawkins,
James
of course.
Harden, obviously, is up
Not
there.
James Harden.
Fred X.
Not Fred X.
Who's top 5? It's got to be Dr. J, Allen Iverson. Those two I'll
Dr.
give
J
you.
didn't play for the Sixers that long.
That's all I think of, though. Whenever I hear Dr. J,
Right.
I'm like Sixers. That's it. He won a championship.
But he wasn't like, they weren't in the NBA that long, right? Dr.
No.
J was more
But he won your
ABA,
only
yeah.
title, I think, right? For the 76ers?
Moses Malone, won a
Yeah.
title.
With Dr. J.
I would think Moses would be the bigger Sixer.
But also
right?
wasn't a Sixer that long either.
yeah.
So it's like guys that were like there the entire time until maybe the end of the career. Trace Utley, Brian Dawkins.
Nick Foles.
Everybody loves Nick Foles. Yeah, Nick Foles is probably up there with Jason Kelce too. Just because obviously the Super Bowl will win, but even before that with Chip Kelly, 27-2, 27 touchdowns. 2
Bryce
interceptions.
Harper.
Bryce Harper's getting up there now.
I'll give you Chase Utley.
Bryce
Yeah.
could get there. I don't think he's there yet.
Smarty,
he's there.
Smarty Jones, the
Total
horse.
Philly guy.
Yeah, the horse,
Yeah.
though, I will give you.
And then Rocky Balboa.
Obviously. Well, Rocky's number 1,
Rocky loses though.
but he's fictional. Well, he wins later on in life, so.
Yeah.
He loses, but with a false sense of pride, which
Sure
it's
does.
Philadelphia in a nutshell.
Right.
Yeah.
It really is. Excellent speech, if you haven't seen it, by Jason Kelce. Very emotional as he was describing the penis on Nick Foles, calling him the not only the biggest dick in the locker room, but that your coach had the biggest balls in the stadium by letting him call that play. I was unaware that Nick Foles actually asked the coach to run that play.
The coach, you mean the one that's in Jacksonville now?
Correct. Yeah, they fired him.
After winning the only Super Bowl in franchise history.
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
Like
They
2 years
fired him.
later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Philadelphia has a bizarrely low amount of championships for having super old teams in every sport.
I think we have the most losses of any professional sports team with the Phillies.
Yes,
That's
that is
cool.
accurate. I mean, but they play more games.
Yeah.
I'm not
Been around
surprised.
since the 1800s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that Nick Foles has a giant penis though. His family's in the meat business.
They really are.
He's fucking meat.
Slanging
Got
that meat
got
every
that
single
thing.
What,
day.
what meat company do
He's
they
an
own?
Austin guy,
Hot Dog.
too.
Yep.
Oh, that's
from
not
Westlake.
That's not in the meat business.
Hey man, they're selling. They're
They
giving,
sell fake meat.
They're giving hot meat to everybody.
That's all that matters these days. As
Oh,
long as
boy.
you're slanging hot meats, everybody. But it was a funny speech, classic Jason Kelce. Travis was there in the front row. He was crying. He was also wearing sunglasses indoors, which is starting to make me think he's turned that corner into a full-blown A-list celebrity now. So
He
it
is.
was
If you
weird.
put your penis in Taylor Swift, you're an A-list celebrity. That's actually how lame Joe Alwyn is that he put his penis in Taylor Swift for years, and you couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
Have you seen there's a
Very
meme,
true.
there's a meme floating around right now of Jason of his previous 2 exes next to Taylor Swift.
Yep.
And the meme says Travis Kelce is not a happy man. And I think it's obvious that he's not.
His
Like them thick.
exes were thick, dude. I mean, huge asses. I was unaware that he was on that side.
Well, you can tell by the way dresses and shaves his fucking chin strap beard.
Right,
frankly.
and the way he talks, and so as soon as I saw those broads, I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely who he would be with.
Isn't it weird that two brothers who grew up identically have like that accent? Not the tone of their voice or the cadence, but the accent is so far apart.
Well, Travis changes his voice depending about like who he's around. No, he does.
He does.
Look, that's the difference between spending time on the line and with the skill position players.
Yeah.
All right?
What are you implying, Bob?
The most racist thing you can imagine. That's what I'm implying.
Totally true, isn't it? God damn it.
Yeah, he definitely does like a black scent.
He does.
Yeah.
Any
He
chance,
does an Aquafina.
Any chance he comes back at all?
Travis Kelce?
Yeah.
Or Jason?
No,
Jason.
No, why would he? He's going to go directly into media, whether it's a podcast or a network.
Yeah, well,
he's got the biggest podcast there is.
Thanks to Travis banging Taylor Swift, that podcast is making even more money than it already was. It was already popular. And then B, any network would kill to have him at this point. Yeah, I mean, like, fuck it. Why have some guy snap your spine at this point?
If the Chiefs could sign you, I mean, that
He's
would
got
be the
a
only
ring.
way.
He does. He's like Mike Evans going back to the Bucks, right? Like, what does he need?
Also, what more
He's a
can
Hall
you,
of Famer.
He
what
needs
do you ask
$26
for?
million next
You know,
year
he
is what
lives
he
in,
needs.
Sure does.
lives in Delco, is living the dream.
I don't know if I would say those two things in a row.
No, sure wouldn't.
Well,
Surprised
dream
that
is
that
a
family doesn't move.
dream is a catch-all term
Yeah,
that
fair
can
enough.
include nightmare. The same way like government can include communist.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's a type of government, a type of dream is a nightmare.
It's kind of like when you ask a waiter how he's doing, and he's like, another day in paradise.
yeah.
Yeah, another day in paradise.
Living the dream is what military people say.
Yeah.
And whenever somebody says that, it is always a lie.
Always a lie. Every single time. Dan and I have a friend who might have played in Tampa. And the second he retired, he got the fuck out of Tampa. I wonder if Jason.
Well, not
Kelce
until
did the same thing.
he's got like 2 2 months he's out.
No, dude, Kelce
which
likes
is like
Delco.
which would be within 3 months of retiring.
Also, Kelsey's wife, I think, is from there.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why she refused to
From
wear Chiefs
Delco?
gear.
No.
From Philly
way.
for sure.
Yeah. She's a Philly girl through and
She
through.
never,
No
you never
shit.
said she never wears Chiefs gear. She wore red to the Super Bowl, but it was a Cincinnati
So he
Bearcats
worked his
pullover.
whole life to get great at football, married to a city, and then married to some woman from the city. I mean, that's a Philly guy, right there.
Yeah. And then he
Like, if you're talking
stays-
about
he
Philly
stays.
bona fides, he's got to be top 5.
Yeah, he's not
just
leaving.
based on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, would you ever go back then?
Sometimes you got to go back to move forward.
Yeah, you
That's
really
what
do.
Matthew McConaughey told me.
I mean, at some point, there's a certain amount of money where wherever you live, it's fine.
Wait, is that the Fabian strategy?
Yeah.
Either way, though, sad day for the NFL. He was the best. He's still the best.
Well, sad day for the
shit.
NFL doubly because Chris Mortensen died too, who was one of the.
No.
Wait, Chris Mort died?
Yeah, he died.
that
He died
sucks,
last
man.
night. Yeah, it's like one of the few dudes that I didn't hate.
I know.
Because he's like, Adam Schefter is blubbering all day today about how he was his mentor. I'm like, Adam Schefter sucks, dude.
I know.
Nobody likes that dude. Like, none of the players no player I've ever met likes that dude.
I don't like
Everybody liked
breaking
Mort.
news guys, especially when news is going to come out
Yeah,
regardless.
because they're scumbags. Like,
Right.
to be a breaking news guy, to be a breaking news guy, you have to chug the dongs of the commish and of all the fucking
There's-
But
owners.
like Woj, right? Like
Everyone loves
Woj will
Woj.
tell you who gets drafted 2 minutes before they announce the pick.
Yeah.
It's just like you're pointless. You're
everyone likes
useless. You're,
Woj.
you do not need a job.
And I like Jeff Passan a lot, even though he's the MLB breaking news guy. Like he
I
has
feel like he
everything
needs to do something with his hair. Like he and our buddy called each other gay kind of passively on
Yeah.
Twitter last year, and there were people like, "Oh, you can't do that. Can't do that." He's like, "It's my friend. I've known him for like 15 years. We're not fighting. We're just talking to each other."
Yeah.
And everybody got butthurt. It's stupid, but his hair is out of control.
He reminds me of your long lost brother, Jeff Passan.
Yeah, we might be related.
Yeah, I would definitely check that out. But as far as Mort goes, one of the best to ever do it. He's been sick for a while, and I think he was diagnosed with stage 4 throat cancer. I want to say in maybe 2016 or 17. somewhere in there.
16.
So that's a long time, man. 8 years to keep going. And he was doing, I remember seeing him last year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he was still doing it up until.
I mean, he
the
looked
end of
like
the
a
season.
shell, but yeah, he was
did.
still doing it.
Well, very, very thin. But
I thought
obviously
he
he
looked-
was battling cancer.
Hotter than ever, personally.
yeah, he was definitely getting hot. I don't know if it was Ozempic or the cancer.
Yeah. But he was looking hot. Is Jaworski dead too?
No, Jaws
Ron-
is still alive.
Jaws is very much alive.
Yeah, Jesus.
My dad looks like Jaws.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he was fucking rad. Sad to see, and now you're left with these shitbags who are on Twitter, and that's kind of all we really have here at this point. And then there's another weird story regarding the NFL here. Braylon Edwards stopped an alleged assault of a man who was 80 years old
in a locker room. So did he Viggo Mortensen?
That's the only thing I'm wondering. Was he buck naked in there? Like, that would have been great if he was fighting nude like Vigo.
Wait, he defended an 80-year-old man, or he fought an 80-year-old man?
Yeah, stopped an attempted murder.
Someone was trying to murder an 80-year-old man for some reason.
The YMCA.
There's a decent chance Braylon Edwards beat up the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, the old man was apparently complaining about the music, the loudness of the music nearby or something, and I think some young buck tried to fuck him up.
An 80-year-old?
Hey, man.
We don't respect our elders in this country.
Jesus Christ.
We don't.
This was in Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Yeah, it was a 20-year-old, and he was trying to cave homeboy's head in because he was upset about the old man talking shit about his music, I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
Get out of the way, you old fuck. This country's a business, all right? Get in your hole if you can't contribute.
Yeah.
$250,000 bond this guy is on, and Edwards said, "Look, at the end of the day, this is just what you do if you see this happening."
Props to Braylon Edwards for stepping in.
Fuck yeah, man.
Well, you either have to help beat the old man to death, or you got to step in. Neutrality is not.
You got to pick a side.
Yeah.
Don't be a coward. Pick a side. You know.
Exactly. Any of you guys watch the Combine over the weekend or check out some of the highlights?
I saw Xavier Worthy run a 4.21 while I was at the gym.
That was fucking insane, wasn't it? Tied the fastest 40 of all time.
Then he kept running like Forrest Gump. He knew he broke that record, so he was just like pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Well, what they didn't really show you in that camera angle was there was actually 17,000 people in the fucking stadium watching.
So why is Rich Eisen talking so quietly like it's a golf tournament then? I know the crowd's not making that much noise, but he's like, oh, he just ran a 4.21.
Because he's right on the field.
So what? Talk up, dude.
No.
I need to fucking hear.
No.
Get some better mics, you piece of shit.
I think it adds to it. It adds to the excitement.
Psychopaths are spending all day at the Combine.
Yeah. There's nothing exciting about that, by the way.
It did seem
Now I
like
know.
the players were hyped for each other, though. I've never seen them as hyped as they've been.
I agree.
I don't like
Combine.
that.
Yeah,
They should all,
They're rooting each other
it's
on.
supposed to be a fucking competition.
A lot of them opted out, too.
They should.
A bunch of people opted out of the Combine.
They should. Caleb Williams just keeps getting dumber. I mean, everything he says and does is fucking stupid.
Oh, boy.
You would be Chicago if you draft him. He's going to fail, right? Draft Drake May or Jaden Daniels or somebody else. Don't draft Caleb Williams. He's not going to be
Just
good
make
in the
sure
NFL.
JJ drops to the Falcons. That's all I care about.
You know what?
Hang
He had
on.
the best combine of any. Not that ever matters, by the way,
Yeah.
right?
Wait, you're kidding, right?
What, having a great combine? Never.
No. That's J.J. McCarthy had a good combine?
He did.
No. His throws were horrific.
The outs were not great, yeah.
Horrific.
But otherwise, he was pretty good.
He throwing-wise was his issue. It was the same issue at Michigan. So that was painful to watch. Why he decided to opt in to do it there, I don't get it. Wait for your pro day. Wait for your people and all that other shit.
He's going to be a top 5 pick, probably.
J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are falling in love with him.
No way.
No way.
He's
Not
gonna,
a
and he's a
fucking
winner.
prayer.
You know?
I'm telling you, somebody's gonna trade up to draft him.
This man's a
Promise
winner?
you.
This man's gonna get a ring.
Oh, boy.
In no world is he a top 5
He'll
pick.
be a backup for the
That
Chargers.
doesn't mean
No.
Johnny Manziel wasn't a top 1 pick either.
He wasn't. He
shouldn't
went
have even been
22nd, I think.
He shouldn't have
To
even
this
been a
day-
first
Yeah, he
round
dropped.
pick.
But to this day, that was one of the biggest shocks of all time. Like, I couldn't believe they traded up, and then they were like, great, we're taking Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Nobody had him at 1, and it was just like, okay, fuck it. And then the excitement took over, and everybody jacked off all over each other. But
Yeah, he dropped, though, to the 20s.
that's right. He dropped to the 20s. Yeah. Forgive me. They didn't
Because
trade for him.
they had to, because Jerry Jones's sons had to restrain him because he was drunk and trying to run to the phone and draft Johnny
Right.
Manziel.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
at
it
some
was-
point in the in the middle of the first round,
It is surprising Baker went 1. I'll give you that.
Baker went 1. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
Baker
what I
went
meant,
1, and Manziel went down. But Manziel was still a first-round pick where you were like, what the fuck is going on here? McCarthy's throws weren't great. Did they really have him going in the first round?
high,
Yeah, dude.
Why?
because he's that good.
Yeah, dude. Harbaugh's going
Watch
to draft
the
him to the Chargers. He's going to trade Herbert, get a bunch of value.
I don't know about all that shit.
Boy, watch that combine footage of him just throwing the football and have fun, whoever drafts him. If it is the Falcons, though, that night live on air, that cocaine shoe will be ripped down off the wall, and I'll probably OD here on set. That would be the worst.
Yeah, PFF has him going to the Falcons at pick 30, their second pick at pick 30.
That would make more sense.
No, that wouldn't make any sense. James Daniels will be there at 8.
He will not be there at 8.
Jane Daniels
You're out of your fucking mind.
Be a Patriot.
He's going to be there at 8.
You think so?
There's a lot of quarterback needy teams in the top 10.
He's either going to Redskins or the Patriots.
I think the Redskins draft Drake May. You have that little North Carolina pipeline of quarterbacks. And then, I think Jaden Daniels to the Patriots.
Okay. If Caleb goes to the Bears, look, I'm starting to lean your way now. God, I loved him in college. I thought he was fucking great. Nobody moves like him except for Pat Mahomes, in my opinion. But like the comments coming out of this fucking guy's mouth, he didn't sign an agent, which is fine. Some people do that. I know Marvin Harrison didn't do that either.
Lamar didn't.
Lamar still doesn't have an agent.
And look, it's fine. But when you're able to make comments without running them by your fucking agent first or your publicist, his exact comment was, they better pay me like a Major League Baseball player, and I need $70 million a year. First of all, do you know what a rookie deal is? It's not $70 million a year.
It's like
even
set in
if you're
stone,
one.
no?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't change it. You can't. So I don't know what the fuck that comment is even for, or if he was just trolling people. It's very, very bizarre.
Wait, is he just going to come back to USC if he doesn't like where he goes or what the contract is?
Can you if you don't have an agent?
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be where once you declare for the draft and hire an agent, that's what makes you a professional before you actually sign a professional contract. Then you can't go back, right? That used to be the case. Now with NIL, it's not the case anymore. You already had an agent, maybe, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you can declare and then undeclare for the draft after being drafted.
In the NBA,
in baseball, you can. Like
But
in
in the
baseball,
NFL,
you can get drafted and then be like, I'm going to college.
Hockey
after, right?
too, I think.
Yeah, I remember Kyler Murray bounced on that Oakland deal and went to the NFL.
I mean, a lot of people did. Fucking Danny Ainge got drafted by the Blue Jays. Like, it's happened dozens of times.
LA, Yankees.
Yeah. So we'll see. But every time that guy opens his mouth, it's just like, Jesus Christ, man.
It doesn't bode well either. I saw a clip today. This isn't like dumb necessarily because I do understand it from a purely on-field position. But he was like, they were like, who do you think's the best quarterback of all time? And he was like, as far as like winning and mentality and results goes, Tom Brady. But like for me personally, Aaron Rodgers. And I was just like, I hope you only mean between the lines because he is useless.
Yeah.
Like in preparation, in general mentality. Like he described the exact opposite person of Tom Brady. The results aren't there.
Yeah.
The fucking mentality's not there. Like everything.
You got to think that NFL organizations, general managers know how easy it is for a quarterback to win or lose a locker room and how difficult it can be to win it back or win it in the first place if you're a fucking knucklehead. And if you're a quarterback and you don't have the locker room, that's not a team, man.
No.
Like you just got to shut that shit down. There's no way I would draft this dude. And with the 7th round pick, the last pick in the draft, I still wouldn't draft him with anything.
Okay.
Should
No
probably
fucking way.
take him if he falls to the 7th round.
No.
If he does,
Absolutely not. He's a fucking locker room cancer. He will never be on a great fucking NFL team because of that. He doesn't have the character for it.
But the Bears are definitely going to take him, right?
Probably,
Yeah.
I mean, if they would be smart to trade Justin Fields and draft fucking Jaden Daniels, that would be a real smart move. But do they have the fucking balls to do it?
Jaden Daniels gonna stink.
People feel that's not true at all.
That's
People feel
completely
like if the industry wide says something and then Mel Kiper says something that I got to do that, otherwise fucking people. If you take a chance and fail, you look like an idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't. If as a GM, you can't afford to look like an idiot, although they always do, right? Because anytime anybody's traded, there's not been one case in the history of the NFL where a team has traded into the top to a lottery pick, the top 13, drafted a quarterback, and he's become a Hall of Famer. Not once ever.
I think
it's never happened.
The Chiefs did that with Mahomes.
Well, he would be the first.
Hang on. Well, he hasn't gone to the Hall of Fame, but we'll see.
No.
He would be a Hall of Famer today.
If he quit today, he'd be a Hall of Famer. But he would be the first to have ever happened in the history of the NFL. And let's not start comparing people to Patrick Mahomes because that's retarded.
He's one of one right now.
Yeah. So it's like, don't do that, man.
No.
Don't ever do that.
Jaden Daniels is going to go to the Patriots and win 3 games a year.
If he goes to the Patriots, you're probably right
Yeah, I mean,
because
they have
that
nothing.
franchise is over, dude.
They have nothing. And on the Justin Fields front, as far as the Bears are concerned, there was a leaked phone call or a thing where they said, "Are you ready to go home?" and the agent was talking to Justin Fields. Obviously, Atlanta's
home with the Cleveland.
No, Atlanta is his home.
Oh, I see.
And so he was jumping up and down around the kitchen. Everybody speculated that he was going to get drafted there or traded there. I've still heard the Steelers, as far as my bookie is concerned, they've got the odds of him going to Atlanta.
I mean, he left Georgia though because of racism.
Oh, well, that was the only way out back then.
Yeah.
You know that, right? That was the only loophole.
I know. It was
the NCAA.
quote-unquote racist comments.
It was a racist comment made to him allegedly at a baseball game, I believe.
I thought it was in a parking lot.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Imagine if that defense had Justin Fields on the other side of the ball, though.
They had him.
Those 3 years. I know, but he never really played there.
Well, he did on that fourth down, the fake punt.
Yeah.
Which one?
The fake punt in the SEC championship game against Bama when it was tied.
Yeah, was that 2017?
There was like 4 minutes left in the game.
6-18? What year was that?
Nah, who could say?
What quarterback are you talking about?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields was never tied against Alabama.
No, he was literally in the game against Alabama.
When he played for Georgia before he transferred.
Oh, when he played for Georgia, gotcha. I don't remember that
The
one.
fake punt.
I don't remember
The
it.
Kirby Smart boneheaded fake punt.
I didn't see it. Yeah.
You saw it. You definitely saw it.
I know. I mean, I didn't know it was Justin Fields. Like, so until you're saying
He was
now,
kind of
like,
not
I didn't see
famous
him.
at that point.
Yeah.
He was just like, why won't they play their 5-star freshman or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, because
But
he,
it's like-
he didn't get very many snaps at Georgia at all. So I
No.
didn't know.
No.
Nobody really
Yeah,
knew much
but-
about him.
They had Jake Fromm.
Yeah, they did. Jake Fromm beat him out. And then they're like, oh, why is there a 5-star freshman quarterback on the field for a punt?
Yeah. Interesting. He's not on special teams usually. And then that punt failed horribly.
It did. So I would imagine that deal, if wherever he's going, will get done before the draft. So at least you'll have some clarity there.
Well, apparently it all depends on the Kirk Cousins market.
Yeah, that's part of it too, because he's popped up with Tampa Bay, probably not going there now that Evans is re-signed, because that's probably a signal that Baker's coming back.
Right.
And Baker's going to be, let's say, $12 million cheaper probably than Kirk Cousins, even at this point in their careers.
I would take Kirk Cousins
age-wise.
on the Falcons.
I honestly,
There's been talk of it. by the way.
Talk of him to the Falcons, talk of him not to. I haven't heard anything about him to the Steelers, but talk
the
of him
Steelers makes a ton of sense.
Yeah,
for
too.
Kirk Cousins more than sending Justin Fields over there.
Yeah,
Yes.
like
Right?
the
Yes.
Steelers are a AFC like top 3 team with Kirk Cousins probably.
And all you got to do is just guide the team. He can manage the team. They
It's
don't-
a really tough division.
It is.
It is.
It
They
is,
need.
but they got a great
They need
defense.
some more skill position players too, but they can get that in the draft instead of taking a fucking whatever they were planning on taking. They're probably taking an offensive tackle or something, I would guess.
Speaking of Mike Evans, so the Bucs did re-sign him 2 years, $52 million, $35 million guaranteed. Good for him, man. I know he wanted a long-term deal for a while. They refused. They franchised him last year. At least they were cool enough to give him this money. This is the highest contract ever for a guy this old.
It's only 2 years, though.
It's only 2 years, and it's a nice thank you, in my opinion, from the Bucs to him of like, hey, dude, you killed yourself out here, and you did get us a title and all that shit, and we'll reward you for staying with the team for 10
I think
years.
as far as Evans is concerned, I don't know what he got everything he could have possibly wanted out of playing in Tampa Bay.
I agree.
Like,
Yeah,
a
Super Bowl.
a Super Bowl, a Hall of Fame career.
Fame.
Played with
He's-
fucking Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like I get that most of the quarterbacks there have been ass, but like I mean,
But you did everything you could for that city. You won
Yeah.
the championship, and it's nice to see him get rewarded like that. So it appears as if he'll probably finish out his career as a Buck, unless he wants to try to go to Tennessee Titans in 2 years or something like everybody else does.
Do the Julio route.
Yeah, Julio or Hopkins or whoever.
Bouncing from team to team.
On those guys. We do have some sponsors, though, that put this show on the air, so we'll get to those real quick. Delco, I want to ask you about this because with my bookie here,
Yeah.
I got UFC 298 on tap this weekend.
299.
299, forgive me. Coming up this weekend here.
Miami, Florida.
It is. Sugar, Sean O'Malley's in it, dude. Sugar, I love him.
Against my guy,
I know.
Cheeto Vera.
Who do you got?
Gonna ride with my boy, Cheeto.
Are you really?
Yeah, Cheeto's gonna knock him out.
Fuck you, dude. Don't you want a goddamn superstar?
Cheeto he'll get the rub from Sean, and Cheeto is a massive star anyway. Like, he is a big star in his own right.
Sean. He's not Sean, okay?
And he's gonna start
Sean makes me watch UFC and like women too, where you're just
Cheeto's
like, all right,
fun
I'll
as
watch
hell.
it.
He hits hard and he knocks dudes out.
I'm
his
just
name
saying-
is Cheeto.
His name is Cheeto. It's fine.
He
but
goes on
it's-
Rogan all the time,
Still, dude, I'm telling you.
does psychedelics.
Sugar's the dude right now, man, and it's fun. I want to see a knockout. I want to see an exciting fight. How does this shake out here?
Cheeto, 3rd round knockout.
Oof. All right. Who else is on this card, by the way?
Oh, it's stacked.
Yeah, I know.
It's a great card.
It's amazing.
Poirier's fighting St. Dennis, Kevin
Benoit
Holland.
Saint Denis.
Yeah.
I'm not. No fucking French on this
He's
show.
only been fighting for 6 years.
No more French on the show.
But he's savage. He's awesome.
Kevin Holland's fighting Michael Page.
Michael Venom Page.
That's
MVP.
a goddamn war right there. That might end up being the best fight of the night, to be honest.
Gilbert Burns and Jack Della is going to be fun as hell too.
And then Jan's fighting Yadong. That's a good fight too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like 2 very technically skilled dudes fighting.
Even the prelims have like really big names on it.
Yeah, it should be fun. This one's on pay-per-view. Sign up now for a host of boosted bets over there and exclusive money bag props that lets you grab A-tier fighters at incredible odds. UFC 299 is the perfect opportunity to cash in on your fight knowledge at mybookie.com. And with the strap on the line, who you got here? I'm going to put my money on Sugar on this one, and then we'll go head to head on Saturday night. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what it's like. Cash outs and win or let it ride on mybookie.com, baby. If you're looking for a little pregame excitement there before the fights begin, experience the thrill of MyBookie's brand new and improved casino floor, featuring over 500 new games and progressive jackpots waiting to be won. Bets and play absolutely anything, anytime, anywhere. Only on mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros is going to double that first deposit up to $1,000.
If you do want to take Sean, though, go by decision. Cheeto's never been knocked out. He also has never really bled. Like, he's one of those guys that you hit, he just takes no damage on his face.
Maybe he doesn't have time to bleed.
Yeah, he doesn't have time to bleed. And a lot of people out there don't have time for vitamins. Well, firstform.com/Drinkin' Bros has made it easy for you. D'Anthony, we got any boxes here? I think I ran out of mine. God,
I don't know.
Not seeing the microfactor.
Yeah,
You ate
son
it
of
all.
a bitch. They're gone, bro. Shit, in case you don't think it's real, they are. They're usually sitting right next to my desk, and they're gone. I got that and the Ketone IQ, and boom, I don't have any right now. So I got to get some more. Damn it. The vitamins are amazing. All the essentials in one tiny little plastic bag in a cardboard box with a trap door that just shoots out right there. Boom, right in your face. What's in it? You got the CoQ10s, you got the multivitamins, the EFAs, the fruits and veggies, everything you need to get you going there, heart-wise, get the blood pumping, and brain-wise over there. Huge fan. I know everybody tries to get jars of vitamin and divides them up. This takes the excitement out of that. Kidding. There is no excitement in that. All right? This is just a tiny little pouch. Pop in your mouth, you're good to go. You piss bright yellow about 40 minutes later. So you know it's working. You know you're healthy for the day. Because for real, we're not all eating the way we want to, need to, and some of us are partying a little too hard on the weekends. Pop these in your gullet and you're good to go. While you're over there, try their energy drinks. Big fan of those. Huge fan. They got new flavors and all that other stuff. Head on over to firstform.com/Drinkin' Bros. We're going to get it 70... free shipping on orders over $75 over there. That's how hard I fucking raged this weekend, all right? I went and saw fucking Dune 2 and took some mushrooms. Okay, don't judge me for it, all right? Great film. We'll talk about it later here. If you want tickets, by the way, to UFC, go to drinkinbrostickets.com. All stocked up over there, $10 cheaper than StubHub.
It's going to be a pricey ticket.
It sure will be. Sure will be. It's not for Gen Pop, especially Miami.
Yeah.
Spring break time.
Oof.
Oof.
It's going to be brutal.
My money's on Trump going too. He'll be there.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. So, yeah, it's going to be a hot ticket for sure. So just know that. If you go over to drinkinbrostickets.com and you're like, holy shit, that is holy shit for everyone, my man. Best card. Great venue, too, by the way. Miami will be fucking rocking all weekend. And spring break is there. Speaking of spring break, grab some hard AF Seltzer out there live in Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, North Carolina, and Ohio. Every single Total Wine's down there in Florida, as well as Texas. 45 HEBs here in Texas, 5 Krogers, every single college campus in one of those states. Go to hardafseltzer.com, click on the store locator, enter your city or zip code, and it'll take you to the closest location nearest you. Grab a 12-pack, or if you're not in one of those states, the surrounding states will still ship right to your house at hardafseltzer.com. Over the weekend, Delco, we're going to go to golf here. Your boy.
Monday finish.
Man.
I know.
How bad do you feel about that right now?
I believe on the golf show I was quoted saying, I will keep betting him and I will be on him when he wins. That was not true.
The week you took off betting Eckroat, the Groat, dude.
Austin Eckroat, Oklahoma State great.
He wins.
Gets his first PGA Tour win. I had Shane Lowry, final group, just laid a total egg today and yesterday.
Fell apart, dude.
What about Mike Lowry?
Mike Lowry.
Kyle Lowry.
It was murder in the room.
Yeah.
It was murder in the room with
Mike Lowry is Bad Boys, dude.
Bad Boys, that's Will
Fuck Kyle
Smith.
Lowry.
Yeah, fuck
Wait,
Kyle.
where is Kyle? He's
in Philly. He's a Philly guy now. Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
You know, should
Appreciate
be.
it.
Well, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Is Embiid coming back there?
Yeah, no, he'll be back by the playoffs. And everyone, it's not just my bookie, but Universal, the top 10s and top 20s, they've kind of changed it a little bit. Where if you just get inside the top 10 or top 20 and it's a push, kind of, they like share it with the amount of people you tie with, which isn't great.
At 10 or at 5 or at 20? Yeah, they do that.
So it used to be you get the full payout, and now
I understand
there's no value anymore.
The top 5s for sure. Top 10s, sure. Top 20s, maybe not.
Right, but the top 10s and top 5s, you're still getting boned. Because if your guy ties, if there's like 3 guys that tie for 5th,
Sure.
you got to split that pot.
But if one of your dudes gets 3 or 4, you're good to go. So I'm into it. I won 2 weeks ago. I only had one top 20 this week on the show. Kind of an off week here. It's been a weird start to the tour this year.
Yeah, no big names have won really.
None
except Hideki.
Yeah, and let's face it, he hasn't been great the last couple of years.
No,
so
it's been a weird year.
It is. What's up next this weekend?
This week we have Arnold Palmer.
Really?
API.
Look at that, dude. Okay.
Elevated event.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever
So
that
all
is
the big.
now.
That means all the big stars will be there.
So some fringe dude that just got in will probably win, like a Matthew Pavon.
I hope so. Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But those are a blast to bet, and we've been circling it, man,
We're
every
close.
single week.
We're gonna hit soon.
Something's gonna hit. We'll switch on over to baseball here. Spring training is obviously started, and that's always fun. Former AL MVP Josh Donaldson retired after 13 years.
It was time. He was kind of washed.
What do you think for him? Does he make it to the Hall of Fame or no?
No, he's got like 1,200 hits.
Okay.
He's a great player.
He just made so much money. It seemed like he was better than.
So
He had a good
was.
peak.
In his prime?
He had a good peak. Played great defense at third base. That's a big part of it.
Elite, yeah.
But also home runs in a home run era, right? So he was just made for this era. That's the reason he made so much money.
He was kind of one of the guys who pioneered, along with his teammate at the time, Jose Bautista, the sort of uppercut swing. They were kind of uppercutting before a lot of people were. And I think Donaldson was initially on the A's when the A's, everybody knows Moneyball, all about on base percentage, right? The second iteration of that, Billy Beane, that's why he's a fucking genius, was like, all right, everybody's doing on base percentage now. What can I do?
Yeah.
And he just found dudes who hit fly balls and had power. So
Ruin the game.
What?
Ruin the game. Strikeouts and home runs.
3 true outcomes from Billy Beane. So Donaldson was one of those guys, and then they kind of changed his swing to uppercut it even more. He does that high leg kick to help with timing, which I believe Bautista did as well.
He had some issues staying on the field.
Yeah.
But at 847 career OPS, I mean, that's
Great.
legit.
Great player.
He had a great career.
Bit of a chotch.
Big
Yeah,
shots.
yeah.
He's either a club room problem or benefit, depending on, I guess, his mood.
Right. Well, and
Talks a lot
probably
of
his
shit.
Offensive output as well.
Yeah.
Right. It's a lot easier to stomach that shit from a dude hitting 40 home runs than a 38-year-old hitting 20 home runs.
Yeah.
It's just so weird to look at his numbers. So when he was drafted, signing bonus was $652,000. Great. That's awesome for a kid. 2010 made $41,000.
Probably in the minors, I assume.
Yep.
Yeah, that's single A.
2012 moved up to 360. 2013 492. $500,000 in 2014. And these jumps are just astronomical. $4.3 million, $11.6 million, $17 million. 1.1 in 2017. I'm assuming that was an injury or something in there. And then $21 million a year after that.
Have your
I'm sorry,
kids.
the 1.1 million
Fucking
on
A,
2018?
dude. Yeah. Yep.
I believe it's the Braves.
Was it
No,
the Braves?
that was 19.
Oh, you're right. He was on the Braves in 19. Yeah.
He had
Have your kid play baseball.
He had a
That's
6
the way to
wins
go.
above replacement.
He was
for
great
the Braves
that
that
year.
year, and I think 2 of them were fucking defensive.
Yeah.
He is an elite defensive third baseman.
Yeah, so he cashed in on roughly 150 there. That's nuts. Maybe Caleb Williams is right. You know, kidding. They're already going to pay NFL quarterbacks $60 million a year. So what the fuck? Just play and you'll do it, homeboy. Spring training wise, who do you guys have your eye on here?
Well, since we're Braves fans, obviously we're mostly watching the Braves, and Chris Sale looks fucking incredible.
About to blow out his arm in the spring.
Yeah, no.
maybe, but he's looked great. AJ Smith-Shawver, who is 20 years old, 21 maybe now.
He's pretty young, yeah.
Phillies rocked him.
Yeah, he gave up 2 home runs to the Phillies the other day. Today, he struck out 5 in 2 innings.
And Acuna's hurt.
Yeah, Acuna's got a meniscus inflammation situation. We'll see if it needs surgery or not.
They think he's still going to be ready for opening day, though.
Yeah, they say that, so we'll see. Who knows? I mean, my guess is he didn't do anything to keep himself in shape over the summer because that's kind of, to be honest, he's lazy and always has been. Ever since he's been in the Major League Baseball, it's been a problem with him. So hopefully, I mean, honestly, hopefully it's overuse and not underuse.
He was playing in the offseason.
Yeah, that's true.
He was in the
Venezuelan, summer league or whatever.
yeah.
I
Or
would
the,
ban
winter
that.
league.
I would ban that bullshit if I'm the Braves. But
Yeah.
that's in your contracts. It must not be in his.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to ask you guys about the Phillies. Signed Zack Wheeler to a 3-year, $126 million extension.
Bang.
That's a lot of money.
God damn
For
it,
3
man.
years, that's a lot of money.
$42 million a year.
Yep.
That's
But
a
I mean,
lot
he
of
was-
money.
It's a baseball. Who gives a shit?
It was,
There's no salary cap.
I think by
just
win-
pay the tax. It's not my money.
I think by wins above replacement, he was the best pitcher in baseball last year.
He's awesome in the playoffs too.
Yeah,
he always
Wheeler's
steps up.
great. Wheeler's an incredible pitcher. He deserves it.
$42 million a year.
Yeah.
Boy, that is fucking nuts.
He really was. He really did, I think, lead the league in wins above replacement last year. I think he had like some bad luck with because his ERA was kind of whatever, but he was having bad luck. I forget in what area, but he's awesome.
That's just the cost of living adjustment.
I guess so, man. I'm looking at the salaries here. So Max Scherzer and Verlander were just ahead of him at $43.3 million apiece. Fuck, dude. How old is Zack Wheeler?
not as old as them.
No, I know.
But he was on that like Mets team that was in the World Series against the Royals, so he's certainly in the back nine
You can
of his
pitch
career.
until you're pretty old.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't get that third TJ.
He's 33.
33.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's not old.
I don't know if he's had any, to be honest. But after the second TJ, if you have to get another one, you're kind of fucked.
Jamie
But
Moyer threw a complete game shutout at like 46.
He did. I watched that game. It was amazing.
Nolan Ryan threw a
was
no
sick.
hitter at 44.
I know.
But let's not compare any of these people to Nolan Ryan.
Or Jamie Moyer, for
or
that matter.
Jamie. Yeah,
you know?
he's.
I'll never
Well, Jamie
forget-
Moyer was made out of Gumby material.
He
So
just
he's-
picked his spots.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the day Nolan Ryan threw that no hitter because Ricky
91.
Henderson broke the stolen base record that day.
Nobody cared.
And I was the biggest Ricky Henderson fan of all time. And he got buried in the news. Everybody talked about Nolan.
The weirdest thing so far about this spring training is that Blake Snell and Montgomery from Texas are still unsigned. 2 of the better left-handed pitchers in the baseball
Yep.
are still without a team right now.
The former, literal Cy Young winner from last year, 2-time Cy Young winner total, and still in the prime of his career.
but
being
doesn't
Blake
get out of
Snell.
the 6th inning ever.
Yeah.
Like he's made it to the 7th inning in like 10% of the starts in his career or something like that.
And then the latter,
people don't want
Montgomery-
to give him 40 mil. And he wants 40 mil because he just won a Cy Young, but people don't want to give it to him because it takes 4 more pitchers after him to finish the game. You know what I mean? Which is understandable. Now, Montgomery is an innings eater. I don't know what the fucking problem
and a
here is.
good big game pitcher.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why he's not re-signed yet.
Does the Zack Wheeler deal help him though? After
Who?
this?
Well, that it could have because he wasn't. It wasn't like he was a
Wheeler
free
wasn't
agent.
up,
Sometimes when if there's a free agent out there, then yeah. But they're the last 2 guys.
Yeah.
Why aren't the Rangers just paying the money?
They will.
They have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just won the championship.
Right.
So,
Just take care of your guy.
yeah, why not at this point?
And then another thing to keep an eye on this season is that Spencer Strider added a curveball instead of the changeup for left-handers. And if you've watched any of the games in spring so far, it's devastating.
He's the only pitcher on the Braves I'm scared of.
I know. I get it.
I don't know. You're going to get scared of this other guy within the next year or so. But, yeah, he like 98, 99 fastball at just above the box right there, and a curveball out of the same arm angle, you're fucked.
It's going to be almost a boring year for the Braves because I think they're going to be on pretty much cruise control through the regular season, and then we'll all be slamming our heads into the desk in October again.
Yeah, because we'll lose in the first round.
But
injury plague season.
Summer
you
should
guys
be
win
fun.
65 games.
We could have an injury plagued season and still win the division.
Still win 100 games.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
I'm not worried about the division.
There's a lot of depth on this team, especially in pitching.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not worried about the division.
we'll see how Elder progresses and if he ends up getting that last spot in the rotation or whatever the fuck. I don't think he will, frankly.
Need Michael Harris to continue to be good.
Not worried about that.
Yeah, he
I
went
have
3
a
for 3 today. I think he'll be
rookie
fine.
card of
Oh, yeah.
his. So
I mean, his defense will be there either way.
Yeah.
Just got to hope the bat stays, which I think it will. But
And then there's what's that kid's name? Hurston Waldrop from the University of Florida. This is his first year. Well, it's his first full year as a pro, and there's a good chance. I don't know. They're probably not going to call him up until May, just to start the clock late on his service time and shit like that. Service time manipulation, it's called, which is supposed to be illegal, but that's exactly what they're going to do. Oh, it needs a little work on his fucking breaking pitches.
Yeah.
what we did to Acuna,
Yeah.
what we do to everybody,
And then
what everyone does to everybody.
Then as soon as the fucking clock resets, they're like, oh, I fucking figured it out this weekend.
Weird.
Yeah. But Hurston Waldrop and A.J. Smith-Shawver are two guys that might make their way into the rotation and displace both Elder and maybe even Charlie Morton this season. Right? We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But there's so much depth on that team, pitching wise. They could legit lose 1 or 2 of their starters and still win 100 games.
And they could also, if they lost one starting pitcher and 2 starting position players, no matter who the position players are, they would be fine.
Yeah.
That the depth is insane on the
still,
team.
they need a killer. They need a deadline deal for it that's going to be a head scratcher to everybody except for the people in that clubhouse, like Jock Peterson. Even if he rides the pine, somebody like that.
Jock.
That's exciting.
Jock won us that World Series. He'll never talk me out of it.
I know. I wanted to ask you guys, though, about the biggest story out of spring training. It's actually the uniforms. So they switched to Fanatics. They don't fit right. They're see-through. You can see the players' dicks.
Yep.
They're all complaining, and they're ripping easily. The pants are. What do you do with this, and why did Major League Baseball make this fucking deal?
Michael Rubin is scrambling right now.
You get a fucking deal with a dick company. Right?
Yeah.
Selling dicks.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Sure.
It's OnlyFans.
He apparently printed exactly to the specs that he was given by like Nike or whatever.
He today came out. I didn't read it yet, but he was blaming Nike.
But
and
did he
everybody
pull one
else.
off the line and put them on and look and say, hey, Nike,
real?
before we print 70 million of these, I could see your dick.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's not an excuse. Fuck off, man.
Yeah, I mean, Fanatics is garbage. I never buy Fanatics
It's terrible.
branded stuff.
Also, the jerseys too. They're not like elevated, right? The font and everything's just like screen printed.
Something like that. Yeah, it's not stitched.
It's not stitched.
And
Pay
the
extra, I think.
no,
and
but the actual jerseys
for the
uniforms
players,
now, for
and like the
players.
lettering is lower and weirder. It looks like ass. It looks.
So what are they going to do? What's Major League Baseball going to do?
I don't know. Probably just eat shit for a month or 2 while they scramble to replace it. Hopefully.
So every time somebody slides, the pants get blown out?
yeah,
We're
Yeah.
gonna see a dick and
I want to see it.
Some point
Yeah,
of
let's
this
see a
season.
fucking hog, dude.
Hopefully it's a black one.
I know. Going across
Big
home
one,
plate.
too.
Hispanic.
Yeah. It's just
probably.
like it's up flopping in the wind as the dude's sliding. Like maybe it's Trey Turner. Maybe he's got a hog on him because he's the smoothest slider I've ever seen in my life.
And maybe the dick kind of hook slides like Jackie Robinson
yeah.
stealing home. Where
He slides past home plate and then whips his dick out
Well,
and touches
dick out.
home
I would
plate.
say
Safe.
sliding
No.
into second to steal a base, right? What you want to strategically rip your pants and have your wiener fly up to block the ball so that the second baseman can't field it and tag you out.
And I guess
We're
it
gonna
helps
see-
if your dick looks like a beaver tail.
yeah.
yeah.
You know, just smash it down a little bit.
We're gonna see
before.
Otani's hog and be like, oh, he has everything. God damn it.
No, he doesn't. He's Asian.
It's unlikely.
It doesn't matter what
It's unlikely.
He's actually, he's not.
6'3".
He doesn't fit the other Asian stereotypes. So
He doesn't, but I've never seen an Asian hog. That's
I don't know.
impressive.
I haven't seen him drive.
I
That's
haven't
true.
seen him drive. You're right.
And he got married in secret too, which is kind of weird.
They
Did
do
he really?
that though. All the Japanese superstars, they keep all their private life secret. Like
Well,
Hideki does
because
it.
people kill themselves. Do you remember when Suzuki got married and there was like 33 suicides that day?
Ichiro?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, here's a
Fucking
huge
love 'em.
Asian penis right here. I just found one.
That guy's an Asian.
Yeah.
Let's see his face.
Hot Asian student dripping hot cum from stroking his dick.
Great,
Like,
but I want to see his face.
Okay,
There's
Right now it looks like
exceptions.
Why
look, there's
are we doing this?
what
I'm just tired of the stereotypes.
This is fucking homework here. Yeah, I can't see that guy's face.
You think Peter Gammons is looking up Asian dicks right now?
If there was Benny Hanna's all over the fucking
There's got to
bed,
be
then I'd
one Asian
answerable.
porn star, I'd imagine.
I can't name one.
There's got to be one. That's a male.
I can't name one. What I can name is Johnny Sins playing basketball over the weekend, just fucking torching
That's
people.
an old video.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like a almost 10-year-old video.
Is that really him?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
He's just like,
I didn't know he was that big of a dude.
he's fucking jacked.
Fuck. He was just
He can ball
tossing
too,
people.
or
Yeah.
he could have balled back in the day.
I saw it and I was like, what
like a
the fuck?
7-year-old video.
I don't know why that resurfaced in my feed.
Barstool.
Somebody tagged.
I think it was Barstool.
Was it?
Yeah.
Somebody tagged Dan and I in it, and I watched it, and I was like, holy shit, Johnny Sins can fucking hoop like that. Speaking of hoops, I watched it again, dude. I watched Caitlyn Clark again on Sunday.
Broke the record.
I know, broke
She's
the
a
record.
fraud.
She dropped 35 in that game.
Just a
Why is
bum.
she a fraud?
Her team stinks. They're gonna get destroyed in the tournament.
They're they beat Ohio State was number 2. They beat Ohio State. so
Also,
they're
why are
gonna
we
move up in the
comparing
top 5.
her to Pistol Pete? Like, they're two different sports. She didn't break any record. She's not
She
breaking.
set her own record, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Pete Maravich was only allowed to play 3 years, I think.
Well, did they have 3-pointers back then?
No.
Yeah. So, and Caitlyn Clark,
He
all she does
averaged.
is shoot.
I don't think
So-
we give enough credit to Pistol Pete. Averaged 44 points a game.
Yeah,
No.
but the 3-point line is not that big of a deal to me not being there, just because the game didn't they didn't shoot a lot of threes back then. So even if the line was there, he would have gotten some extra
Also,
points.
is this
But it's
Caitlin's 4th or 5th year?
not 4th.
Okay.
She is foregoing her COVID year.
To go to
the WNBA.
WNBA.
To Indiana.
By the way, he did it in 83 games, and she's done it in 130.
Yeah.
Which is slightly different, right?
Yeah.
50 more games to
Yep.
accomplish the same thing. Let's fucking relax. Although she's the best women's shooter I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
shooter-wise.
I
yeah.
would say probably the best guard,
Yeah.
the best backcourt player I've ever
But
seen.
you know, what's it feel like to be great at something no one fucking cares about, I guess? You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
Nope.
Look, the ratings have been very, very good for
It's
her.
college basketball. Women's ratings are usually pretty good. South Carolina fucking sells out,
UConn. I mean,
yeah,
it's
They
UConn.
do, but do you think when she goes to the WNBA, all this goes away?
Yes.
It's tough for the WNBA and a lot.
Yeah,
like,
how many Indiana Fever games are you going to watch?
It's just it's the thing too. Like nobody. I mean, I know the MLS has done a good job of
Zero.
engendering fan support or whatever, but
Because of Messi. Like, I'll turn on, if
way
Messi's
before, but it was
there,
way
I'll
before
do
Messi.
it.
It was way before Messi. Like Portland and Seattle, they just had great fans. The fans
yeah, you
were
go to
crazy.
cities that don't really have pro sports.
Yeah, and
Columbus Crew.
Yeah, Columbus Crew. All that shit.
They almost got rid of the crew. They had to save the crew.
I know they almost moved to St. Louis.
They almost moved
They
here.
almost moved here, too.
almost here.
Yeah,
The guy that owns.
no, that's right. Yeah,
The guy that owns Austin FC was the guy who was trying to move him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But-
he's hated there in Columbus.
Yeah, sure
For
is.
trying to do
that
that
doesn't
shit.
surprise me. But it is women's college basketball has the advantage of you have these established institutions that people root for. I saw someone write honestly, Ohio State fans and Michigan fans, for example, would get really hyped into two snails racing each other if you painted an Ohio State thing on one and
Of
a
course.
Michigan thing
You
on the
just
other.
root for your school. No
You know
matter
what I mean?
what.
You would just be whatever you can do to tell a Michigan fan to suck my dick. You know what I mean? It's
I watched Ohio State, Michigan over the weekend, even though Michigan's 8-22 this year.
Yeah.
They're having a terrible season, but you're right. Yeah, just because it was that game, I watched it.
But it's the WNBA hasn't done that really because it's not about, to me, quality of product. Obviously, the WNBA is much shittier than the NBA, but college basketball is much shittier than the NBA also. Men's college basketball, people still like it for a reason.
Yeah. Another scoring record over the weekend here was LeBron James, first player to ever hit 40,000 points. Is
Did
that a
they
big
stop the
deal?
game again?
No.
Give him the ball.
They gave him a 40 Schlitz malt liquor, and he chugged the whole thing.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
that'd be fucking dope.
That
if
would have
they
been the
did.
way to do it, right?
know. I
Play
know.
Edward 40 hands. He's on the bench with 2 40s duct taped to his hands. He can't get back into the game until they're gone.
I mean, this is an unbreakable record.
Yeah, nobody.
You have to play very long.
that
Long
And
stay
elite
healthy.
at an elite level.
Yeah.
And that's not even counting his playoff points, by the way.
No.
That's only regular season points.
It is. You just, man,
It's unfathomably difficult. It's like Cy Young's win record.
Yeah, no, he's
unbreakable.
a stat compiler. He's the Emmitt Smith of the NBA.
He is.
Jesus Christ.
It's weird because I've seen stats all fucking weekend here about now he's got more points than Magic Johnson and Larry Bird combined. But again, there wasn't the 3-point line and all that other.
Yes, there was.
There was, but it just wasn't used that much.
Larry did. Magic never shot threes. He probably made like 100 in his whole career, I would guess.
Yeah. It's a big deal, but it's just he's been very lucky to stay healthy. For 20
Well, I mean,
Not lucky. He
years.
spends millions of dollars on his
It's
body.
not that, but what are the chances of we all know great players who have blown out a knee, and then you're like, well, shit. I mean, even Brady tore a fucking ACL and missed a season.
He's never played less than 54 games in a season that wasn't the COVID year.
Is that fucking nuts?
I don't know if that's
nuts,
luck.
dude.
I think that's durability, and that's a
Well,
skill.
he's got a
It's
crazy
a skill in its
body,
own
yeah.
right.
For as much as you want to call him a pussy or like a bitch, whatever, not wrongly so. Emotionally, he very much is. But like, dude, he fucking guts it out.
I don't think he's a pussy. I think he's just lame.
Well, he is lame
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Well,
but-
he's the most insecure superstar of all
yeah,
time.
and you could, all those things are fair, but like physically, that dude fucking
Yeah, he's a man.
yeah.
He is, and he was just born with the perfect NBA body, and to never have a freak injury or anything,
I think it's arguable.
Is nuts,
I
dude.
think it's arguable he's like a top 5 most athletic human being that's ever lived.
Yeah, look.
Yeah,
when you're
probably,
born
right.
with the physical gifts like that, where you're just like, holy shit.
I'd put Lou Gehrig in that. Like people
Gehrig was a hoss.
People sleep on Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
He was a fucking man,
Yep.
and he could run. He ran fast as fuck too. But yeah, he's up there, probably top 10 most like
Physically
athletic human
gifted,
beings
yeah.
In the
ever.
history of the species.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's fucking insane.
Yep.
And the
And,
other thing,
and like we're lucky to have like as much as I fucking brag on him and hate him, but it's been good to watch sometimes, to be honest.
He's
Like,
one of the
amazing.
best passers I've ever watched. Like when he decides, like I'm gonna pass the ball a lot today. Like it's
No,
fucking
LeBron's
incredible.
game itself is very dope.
It's awesome. Yeah. High level LeBron was incredible to watch.
But his
Yeah.
personality is just
Shit.
so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
So
it's
cringy.
crazy that he scored 40,000 points, and on most of the teams he was on, he was at least trying to be a facilitator most of the time. It was like sometimes he was scoring because nobody else would.
yeah.
And
yeah.
also-
Fucking crazy, right? Because if he had just been like Kareem or somebody like that, he would be at 50,000 by now.
Rob, he is the greatest athlete to ever live when he was with the Miami Heat, when he was on all the gas.
Yeah. That might have been the most
yeah.
athletic human being.
When he
of all
was
time.
like 300 pounds of just muscle
yes.
mass.
Can you
He was like
imagine-
285.
Can you
dude,
imagine the
just killing
fucking
people.
home runs that Gehrig would have hit had
On
he been
roids?
on the gas, or even Mickey Mantle?
and we've
gas.
accepted that, right? Like he was on
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
everything.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I want him to be. I hope he's on it now.
Yeah. People forget too, like go look up early and mid-career LeBron highlights, the dunks that guy threw down. I mean, motherfucker.
All right,
Like,
here's a better
thunders.
question. If he went to college and he went to
He was supposed to go to Ohio State.
but let's say he went to Akron, right? Like 'cause sometimes he'll be like, "Oh, I would have went to Akron University."
Yeah. Been a zip?
Do they make the Final Four?
Probably.
Yes.
Because he was really good his rookie year, but could he have
I mean,
dragged
he
Yeah.
dragged
4 nobodies to the Final Four? At
He
Akron?
dragged 4 nobodies to the NBA Finals like 3 years later.
Yes. I say yes. Because Steph Curry was able to do it with Davidson.
No, he made the
No,
Elite
they
Eight.
never got to the Final Four.
They were-
They got like
Elite
no, they
Eight,
got like
yeah.
the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
No, I think they made an Elite Eight.
They made
I'm
an
gonna
Elite
look
Eight.
that
I
up.
believe Kansas beat them to get to the Final Four.
Yeah, I think you're correct. And I'm looking at his numbers now here. These are still mind-altering. This is this year, and he's almost 40 years old. 25 points a game, 8 assists a game, 1.3 steals a game. I mean, at fucking 39, and he's playing 35 minutes a fucking night.
That's the craziest part. The stats are whatever, but the amount of time he's on the floor is crazy.
He is
It is.
third all-time in the NBA in PER. Only 2 people ahead of him.
Who are the two?
Second place, Michael Jordan.
Yep.
And first place, Jokic.
Wow. Yeah, well, Jokic is on his way. Should be 4th MVP in a row. They gave it to Embiid last year, but he's going to win this year, it looks like. Michael Jordan, I think this is a real statement, but you guys can look. All these fucking cards on the internet these days, like who knows? I guess Michael Jordan's statement, because they asked him about what he thought about 40,000 points. He goes, cool, man, you can keep the points. I still have more rings.
Yeah.
It wouldn't shock me if Jordan said that.
LeBron made more finals, right?
Alternatively, you could say that's a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah. He didn't want to do that.
You know,
He never does.
We
really, boy, I will say this. Like, obviously, Jordan has more rings, but boy, do we let him off the hook for losing earlier rounds of the playoffs than LeBron. We're like, basically, we laugh at LeBron for losing in the finals, but don't care that Jordan was losing in like the second round for half his career.
But the league was so good then.
To be fair, nobody was on that Jordan team, and that you could say those are similar circumstances, right, to some degree. But Jordan's team also wasn't, or I'm sorry, LeBron's teams also weren't playing tackle football on the court.
Yeah.
Right? The Pistons fucked his ass.
I think we
for
overblow
6
that
years.
a bit.
Oh, what are you, crazy?
Yeah, we do.
It's literally called the Jordan rule, and John Sally, who used to be his fucking teammate, by the way, whooped his ass. Everybody on that team.
Because wasn't Sally on the Pistons too?
fucked him
That
up.
fucking documentary was Jordan propaganda.
Forget about that documentary. I grew up watching this shit, dude.
So did I. It was
They whipped his ass.
The Lakers. Remember the Lakers and Celtics used to kick the shit out of each other?
Yeah, that's the only
Rambis
reason
and those
Kurt
guys?
Rambis was even in the NBA.
That's it?
The only reason he ever touched a basketball in his life was to fuck people
I
up.
can't imagine there was any other reason for Bill Laimbeer to exist.
No.
That guy looks like just like a scary dad
Yeah,
who
he
like
looks-
you're pretty sure beats up his kid, but you never know for
And
sure.
one of LeBron's rings doesn't count because it's a bubble ring.
Yeah, that one
Bubble
doesn't
ring.
count.
No,
Yeah, for sure.
So he's got, what, 2.5 rings now?
Yeah.
No, he's got 3.
Wow.
He's won 4, right? It's four.
He's got 4, yeah.
4 wins,
Oh, he does
6
have 4?
losses.
The bubble's the 4.
Are you sure he's got
No.
4?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 4 and 6.
And it's 4.5 because he has the in-season tournament title, which Jordan never accomplished.
Yeah, Jordan never did that.
I want to talk about his kid because Bronny James right now, they're talking about him.
I feel bad for the kid. 'cause
Potentially entering the draft.
He's having to walk back statements he didn't even make.
Nope.
No, he's coming
Rich
back.
Paul's talk shit, and LeBron's talk shit about wanting to play with him in the NBA and
Yep.
shit. You never heard any of this from the kid. He's just trying to develop into an adult human being.
Yep.
And play basketball, and it's like, oh, I guess I'll I don't know. I feel bad for him.
So currently, this is as of 2 days ago, they said they're evaluating teams to see where he could potentially be drafted if he is going to leave for the draft. Problem is, he's averaging 5.8 points
I don't
a game
think he
right
does he
now.
even start at USC.
He
No.
starts.
I don't think he starts.
Okay.
USC's not that good anyway.
USC's not that
Dude,
good.
you know what though? Like, I don't even give a fuck.
Come back
man.
for another year. Go-
Whatever. Like,
Stay in college.
Being
Get some
this-
strange.
Being this lottery pick is like not. I mean, the best player in the NBA right now is a second round draft pick.
Jokic.
Yeah. Just develop your fucking game. Don't worry about
That
it.
is such an anomaly. Most dudes that go in the second round are total bust. Like there's nothing there.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Usually
half the
once you
dudes-
get past the top 5, it's bad.
But that's what I'm
lottery
saying. Half the
picks, yeah.
dudes in the lottery. That's 2/3 of the lottery. Past the top 5. I mean, the draft is. That's my point though. In general, is the draft is, aside from 1 or 2 guys a year, a complete fucking crapshoot. So I don't know why you would ever care about, especially him, because a lot of these guys have to at least be like, fuck, dude, I got to get drafted higher for the money. He doesn't need any money.
No.
His dad's a fucking billionaire. So like,
you draft him in the
his
second
NIL,
round.
His NIL was $9 million.
You draft him in the second round, you get LeBron, right, for a year.
I don't think so. It's
like a marketing
LeBron
ploy.
says he wants to stay with the Lakers. If you're the Lakers, do you put him in the G League? Do you draft him in the second round?
If I'm the Warriors, I draft him to try to get him to come up there because I think he would go up and stay in California.
and with the Warriors,
Yep.
because they tried to do that deal before the trade deadline and it didn't go through.
That was what were they offering them though? Really? Like they were asking LeBron to come fucking rickshaw this rickety ass old team into the playoffs, which he didn't want to do.
No.
But it would be different if they made some other moves. Like Chris Paul comes off the book this year, that makes things wildly different, right?
Also, why would LeBron leave the Lakers? They were literally just in the Western Conference Finals last year.
Yeah, but that's a bit of a misnomer, right? Like they went through the Warriors who were not prepared to fucking do anything in the playoffs, and also the first round team they played, they shouldn't have
For sure.
that team shouldn't have even been there, right?
For sure.
But if you're saying that it's a commentary on the softness of the West once you get past the first 3 teams, that I will agree with.
I don't even think the first 3 teams are not soft. Like, I don't trust the Timberwolves in the fucking
Don't
playoffs.
trust the Timberwolves.
No, I don't trust the Timberwolves.
Oklahoma City.
But Oklahoma City is fucking legit.
They're
dude.
good, but
I don't
I
think
don't know.
they're
They're
gonna
not
win.
like playoff tested.
No, not tested, sure. And their
No.
oldest starter is SGA. He's 25, right?
And we
Yeah.
just saw Chet Holmgren, over the weekend get torched by Wemby. So that's not.
I mean,
the
he
guy.
still scored 20 points.
He's not the guy.
He had a
no.
double-double. Wemby led up a double-double to, I guess, Chet Holmgren, the worst player in the league.
I think the Clippers are dangerous in the West.
Yeah.
Obviously, Denver. We'll see about Minnesota for sure is not.
No,
Although I will
they're
say the
Tiger.
Nuggets said that their toughest series was against the Timberwolves last year. in the
Well,
first
that's
round.
because of what we said at the time before that series started, the Timberwolves are young and they're going to run the fuck out of anybody on the court.
I don't trust the Kings.
I don't trust
I
the
think
Kings.
if
definitely
Golden
the
State
Kings.
gets into the playoffs, they can make a run.
I think the Suns can make a run because there's so much talent on the
Suns
team.
too.
They have to stay healthy, which is a fucking who knows if that's even possible for them
Yeah.
at this point. They also have to play as a team at some point, right? Which has not been the case since KD got there. I don't think it's his fault. I just think the coaching's bad, frankly.
You can't let KD's not like a leader, right? You need to just let him play, and the coaching needs to be better, essentially.
But the Mavs are another team to keep an eye on.
interesting.
They have been very good since the All-Star break.
Just lost to the
they lost.
Sixers.
They lost 2 in a row this week, but they've been this weekend. But they've been really good since the All-Star break. Kyrie Irving's got fucking some skills. He's got some pedigree when it comes to winning in the playoffs for sure. He made one of the biggest shots in NBA history.
Yeah.
So,
How soon till we get a Kyrie Irving, Aaron Rodgers podcast?
oh my God,
Please.
Is that too much?
It might be too much.
Because
for the world.
whenever Alex has Eddie Bravo on the show, I can't listen.
Yeah,
it's
right.
just there's too much crazy. I need
Throw him
one
in too.
or the other.
Eddie Bravo.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron Rodgers. Kyrie
and then
Irving.
see what
And
happens.
then put it on
and Aubrey Marcus.
Yeah, and then put it on fucking.
Oh, you see, Aubrey was
Infowars.
with fucking Jake Paul
Put it
this
on
weekend?
Infowars Network. Just like, let him go wild. Dude.
Yeah, why not?
Aubrey was like rubbing some incense on Jake Paul before his fight.
Yeah, he's always there at the fight.
Have they kissed?
Lakers are
Most likely,
of course. Lakers are currently last team play-in game right now at 10.
Yeah, but they're tied with the Warriors. Warriors just have the in-season.
And also, it looks like the bottom 5 teams have no shot.
None.
So like the Lakers are probably good, right? Like,
They're good.
Unless they lose every game for the rest of the year, probably, right?
Which is more mileage though on the
How are the
line.
Grizzlies so bad?
because Jaws
Jaws out for
Ja
the season.
hurt. Yeah.
Yeah,
he
but
was.
they got talent.
He only played like 5 games, right?
Yeah.
He came back for a little bit and then broke
Shoulder
his hand or
injury.
something. Oh, his shoulder.
Yeah.
The Jazz suck. They're not doing anything. The Rockets suck. They're not doing anything. Yeah, none of these teams are going to catch them. So it is what it is. There might be some shift here. I don't think Minnesota can win in the playoffs. We've seen them not do that, right?
Yep.
Oklahoma City is like, I think.
They're a good team. They haven't been tested in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would say
this feels like another Denver year to me.
Kind of sucks
I-
though if you're the Timberwolves. You're gonna maybe catch like the fucking Suns in the first
Yeah.
round. That would be awful.
Fucking nightmare
Yeah.
for sure.
And then don't forget about the Pelicans either, because Fat Body is actually playing basketball right now.
Zion.
He's lighting it up.
He
don't
has.
trust it.
When he does, he has
dude-
like some of the highest PERs.
Yeah, no,
as long as he
when-
can be on the court, he fucking dominates everybody.
I just don't trust that he'll be on the court. Is
No,
the problem.
he's just so fat.
So
Hey man, that Beignet can ball, all right.
That was the worst city he could have went to.
The
Yeah.
round mound of rebound. He's back. Yeah, he's only played 50 games this year, but he's averaging 30 minutes a game.
SGA, by the way, is averaging 31.2 a game. God
He's
damn.
gonna finish second in MVP voting most
Yeah.
likely.
It's
Shit.
the juice ball era for the NBA.
Yeah.
They're just guys are putting up 50 every night.
Well, look, if you can do it and then go to they're 42 and 18, and he's doing it, like, hey,
Dude,
that's
the
fine.
Thunder are fucking nuts, and it really. Although I do kind of wonder, like, if you wouldn't rather catch Denver earlier than later in the playoffs, just because I feel like the Denver got stronger and stronger in the playoffs last year, and teams had a tougher time going to Denver to play just because they were more tired as the year went on.
Yeah, but you
and
could also catch Denver later and they'll be hurt.
always
Yeah,
possibility.
always possibility.
But I mean, as it goes right now, like I was telling Dan this the other day, their starting 5, Denver's starting 5 is Jokic, who's the best player in basketball, and then 4 lottery picks.
Yep.
It's fucking nuts.
And he should have, well, I mean, maybe should have is not the right word, but if you mapped him back onto the draft now, you would pick him in a lottery pick position.
For sure. Yeah.
To be honest, the same is true of Oklahoma City, though, right?
What?
Like, I think Jalen Williams is the only one that was like down in the 20s.
Yeah.
Everybody else is drafted pretty high. And I think he was in the 20s, right?
Yeah.
What did he get
I don't remember
drafted?
where him or where SGA was.
Oh,
Obviously,
no, he was 12th, actually.
okay.
Shit.
So he was a lottery pick. Chet
No,
was a lottery
SGA
pick.
was a lottery pick.
SGA was 11th.
Yeah, but not for the Thunder. So that's why I was curious.
Getty was 6th. And then Dort was, I don't know. I don't see. He may have been undrafted, actually.
And then they got Gordon Hayward now.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward.
Butler's
So
finest.
Gordon Hayward might be the most important player on that team.
Yeah, they
Because-
added a vet
Yeah.
basically.
But they need a playoff vet,
yeah,
right?
Did-
That's the
did
last thing
Hayward
this team needs.
Make a finals with the Celtics.
He was hurt, I think, when they made the finals.
Okay.
I think, or maybe it
He
was
definitely made a conference finals
Yeah.
with the Celtics.
That's the last thing they need to find their Andrew Iguodala, right? Somebody out there in the NBA who's won before that can come show this team what it means to grind it through a 7-game series and win it.
Yeah.
That's the last thing they need because they're all 25 and under.
Yeah.
They can afford to fucking shed a draft pick here and there. They don't how many fucking you can't add any more to the starting lineup at this point, you know what I mean?
I know.
So give up your first round draft pick next year and get somebody.
Respect to them for being win now too.
Yeah.
Because
Fuck
Oklahoma just saw that a good thing doesn't last forever. They had goddamn Durant, Harden, and
yeah, but
Westbrook.
Presti built
couldn't
this
afford him.
I feel like they
with
could have
draft
made
picks.
that work.
Like
Yeah.
Presti did this the right way. He loaded up on draft picks and just kept trading
But
everybody.
the problem is these contracts expire.
Sure.
Then can they afford
But
them?
they're in for it now. They like the next guy up for a supermax is going to be fucking Giddy. And maybe he gets a max contract, not a supermax. Maybe he gets a max contract. He probably won't get the 5-year, I don't think.
Yeah.
But he's the next guy you got to sign, and it's 2 years later for anybody else.
Keep throwing accusations against him.
Yeah,
He'll get
keep
better,
throwing
yeah.
16-year-olds.
But if Oklahoma City has a first round draft pick next year in the offseason, they should trade that draft pick and get a fucking veteran who knows how to win in the playoffs. That would be a very smart move for them.
Depending on what happens this year, they might be a team loaded with guys
Yeah,
who made
we'll
a
see.
deep playoff
We'll
run.
see.
Yeah, should be fun though to watch. I pick back up with the NBA as the playoffs get closer, so we're almost here. This week is also championship week for colleges. Looking forward to that.
Big weekend.
Huge weekend, dude. Tons of stuff to bet on at mybookie.com. And I did throw money on Jake Paul here to close out the show. Another impressive first round
Another
TKO.
fucking tomato can.
Nobody watched that.
Nobody
cares.
did. Everybody cared. It was awesome, dude.
Although,
congratulations to Jake.
I did see Ryan Garcia was just like, all right, let's do this.
Did he finally say that?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
He would destroy Jake.
I agree. But wouldn't you like to see it just happen? Just to see what would actually fucking happen.
I mean, that one would go the distance.
No.
No.
Garcia,
Garcia's not
second round
knocking anybody
knockout.
out.
Yeah,
Fuck out of here.
he would knock him out, I think.
No,
Jake
he's
Paul
fast.
been knocked
He's
out?
very fast. He's not knocking out Jake
he
Paul.
would knock out Jake Paul.
You think so?
Yeah.
What's the weight disparity?
He would drop Jake Paul with like a body shot.
like
and it'd be
50
over.
pounds.
that much.
Yeah.
God,
At a
it's fun to
minimum. I
watch.
mean, I don't know. What does Jake box at? Is he boxing at 175?
Usually, no,
No,
usually
higher.
it's 190.
It's like 195.
Ryan boxes at like 140.
Yeah,
right?
but he just don't drop any weight.
Yeah, because he walks around at like 165.
that fucks your
170.
cardio up.
Jake
Carrying
Paul's
around that extra weight.
183.
That's what he boxes at, or
Oh.
what he,
No, so it depends. He's boxed at like 195 before.
Okay.
Like that's what he fought. I think Anderson Silva.
It'd be great to see. Look, he is fighting real boxers, so it is what it is
Are they?
here. They
Well,
are-
it is the boxing route, right? Like your
Yes.
first like 20 fights are supposed to be cans.
Correct.
yeah, but they're also not supposed to be fixed.
They weren't. Those
And
were
those
all
cans-
legit fights.
No,
Those
they
cans
were-
still have to be actual professional boxers and not an ex-NBA player, a wrestler who has a worse body than everyone at this fucking desk.
Hey,
Like,
how dare you? How dare you talk about Ben Askren like that?
fucking, like, come on, man.
Looking forward to Jake Paul's bright career here and knocking out Garcia to win the championship. Lastly, though, our boy's going to get there and Ngannou's going to fight soon. What if he wins?
Against Joshua?
Yeah.
I just can't see it happening.
I can. I
It
don't think
takes-
Joshua's good.
That's not the point. Boxing is kata based. Kata, like there's combos, right?
Yeah.
Being in the right position and throwing the right combos in the right moment, that's how you win in boxing. And it takes years to develop that skill. That's why the first 10 to 15 fights of your career are just tomato. If you have any promise, they're just tomato cans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can fucking hone that particular skill. Look, he's got. If anybody in the history of human beings has a puncher's chance, it's Francis goddamn Ngannou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he can punch through a guard and knock your ass out.
I
for sure.
honestly at this point can't really doubt him to do anything.
Yeah,
No.
Just
he is a
because
fucking.
he came from a
man, dude.
diamond mine in Africa and became world champion. Like after floating on he was just on a raft that got to this.
He
country.
killed Rose and took that fucking door and floated over here.
Sure
That's
did.
what happened. Yeah, which
Sure did.
good. He got some revenge for Leo.
And it's an inspiring story. He actually went back to Africa, bought that diamond mine, and now there's twice as many children working in it.
Yeah. And they're all his.
He's a job creator.
Yeah. Just creating an economy for his own country. We appreciate you tuning in, kids. We'll be live with the Drinkin' Bros fake news here in about 10-15 minutes on Patreon. Subscribe over there to Drinkin' Bros Podcast Patreon. In the meantime, go to iTunes and rate this show, Drinkin' Bros Sports, a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. For D'Anthony Hollaway, Delco Dan, Hot Bob, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Monday Morning Recap. Good morning, everyone.